We're in the middle of a series on the book of Esther. There aren't too many sermon series that you can find that are on the whole book of Esther because it is a difficult book. It's dark and it reveals the depth of human sin and depravity in ways that are uncomfortable. And to make matters worse, we don't hear directly from God anywhere in the book. And yet we've seen how God continues to be at work in the shadows. I want to jump right into the three ways that I see the book of Esther is pointing us to the cross. Number one, we see God's providence over the evil plans of man and the spiritual forces of darkness. Haman and his cronies rolled the dice over the day of the destruction of the Jewish people. Xerxes was driven by greed, and the money that Haman promised him was a significant amount. The casting of lots, this intended to discern the will of the gods for the destruction of an entire people, actually in God's providence leads towards a delay in the destruction of his people. A significant delay, by the way. 11 months from the time of the decree until the act was supposed to be done. That's a long time. Haman and his henchmen believe their plan has been determined by fate, but their plan has been providentially determined by God. And plenty of time has been given for God's plan to work for salvation. The second way we see the darkness pointing us to the hope of the gospel in Jesus is this: God provides the substitute for our condemnation. You see, Haman used his money to buy death, but God used Jesus' death to purchase our life. The third way this passage points us to the gospel is this: there is always hope even in the midst of despair. And here, the self-righteous pride of Haman and Xerxes has led to confusion, chaos among the people of the empire. This was what seemed like a hopeless situation for God's people. No way out. You know, God is working in the book of Esther to save his people, but for us, what seems hopeless, death and defeat, on the third day became life and immortality, because Jesus conquered death and he rose from the grave. Jesus has become for us the atoning sacrifice for our sins, and therefore there is no condemnation for those who are in him. And there is hope, even in the midst of despair we may be feeling in this moment, at this time in our lives. Thanks be to God.